All right, so the next thing that we're going to learn about is, I'm going to put a comment down here that says the next thing that we're going to learn about. We've learned about line spacing. If you don't mind, I'm going to come down here and bring my closing HTML and body tags close together, the two of them, and then I'm going to push them down because I have a tendency to accidentally delete one of the two of them. I don't know. I'm just going to get them out of my way, push them down there, because everything that we're going to be doing for the rest of the class is inside of this body container, inside of the body tag. So I'm going to put another comment on here that says the next thing that we're going to be doing is text formatting. Obviously, oops, I was going to say that my comments don't have to be in caps, but I'm writing notes to self. Text formatting, I'm going to put a comment in here, and then I'm going to see if we can change the formatting of my text. Are you guys up and running?
Yes.
Excellent. Both of you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we're going to learn about some text formatting. We've learned about line spacing, where I can single space or double space. We've learned that HTML ignores, for the most part, ignores white space, which means in theory, if it ignores white space, I could actually put the title on one single line. As a matter of fact, I could create my entire web page on one single line. It would be highly unreadable, but I could do it. So if I were to save this and refresh my browser, notice my title didn't change. That's because HTML ignores white space. All right, so let's come down here and let's talk about some text formatting. All right, so I'm going to say something like, oops, not caps. This line is bold. What do you think the tag is that I'm going to use to make this line bold? Excellent. The line is B for bold. Do you think I'm going to have to close that bold tag?
Yes.
If I don't close it, everything after the opening tag will be bold, which means that I should probably close it. And you close it by putting that, and you close it by, oh, my caps line. There we go. Close it. Anything between the opening and closing bold tag will be bold. If I type it and refresh my browser, I'm actually going to come up here and put a paragraph tag just to give myself a little bit of space. So I'll come up here, we'll put a paragraph tag. It doesn't really matter where I put it. That kind of pushes my bold line down a little bit. So now I have a bold line. I'm going to do a line break. And then I'm going to say this line is italicized. What do you think is the tag that I'm going to use to italicize it? I for italicized. I need to close the italicized line. Save it, refresh my browser. I should have an italicized line of text. I'll put a line break. I'm going to say this line is bold and italicized. How do you think I'm going to get it to be bold and italicized? What is the tag that I'm going to use to get it bold and italicized? I need the two tags. There is no BI tag. I have to have the B tag and the I tag, both of them. So I can put them in any order that I want. I can close them in any order that I want. I don't have to close them in the same order that I opened them. I don't have to close the inside and then the outside. It doesn't care. It's just looking for a closing tag. If I save it and refresh my browser, I should have a bold italicized line. Try it one more time. This line is bold, italicized, and underlined. How do you think I'm going to get a bold, italicized, underlined? And we need to bold it. We need to italicize it. And how am I going to underline it? You! Underline. That means that I need to close those three. It doesn't matter the order in which I close them. It's just looking for the closing tag. Bold, italicized, underlined. Refresh my browser. Oop, wrong key. Oh, and I need to force a new line. Let me come back here and force a new line. Instead of forcing a new line, I'm going to force a double space or a paragraph there. All right, so we have it on a new line. All right, so that we're going to say this line This font is red. What tag do you think I'm going to use to change this font red? Say it again. The tag. What is the first word that you said? Font. I'm going to change the font to red. So the tag that I'm going to use is font. So I'm going to open the font tag. I am going to close the font tag. But the question is, I need the font to be red. What else might I want to change about a font besides just the color? Size, the font face, or the type. So there's a variety of things that I might want to impact or change about the font itself. That means that some tags have what are called attributes. And attributes are written inside of the opening tag. And this allows me to affect different parts of this particular tag. So font has some attributes. If you've already guessed, inside of the opening tag, what we're trying to impact now is the attribute called color. So I'm going to say color equals red. Now if I save it and refresh my browser, I should probably have some red font. We do not close the attributes, we only close the tag. I close the font tag. Let me put a line break here. I'm going to say this font is large. What tag do you think I'm going to use to make this font large? What is the tag I'm going to use? Font! Thank you very much. What is the tag that I'm going to close? Font. And I keep repeating this because students want to close their attributes as well. You don't close the attributes, you only close tags. But you may have guessed that there is an attribute that is going to impact the size. And by the way, it's called size. Size equals. The interesting thing about this is that if I make the size 7 and I refresh my browser, I have large font. If I change that to 700 and refresh my browser, it will make no difference. Because for some reason, the numbers between 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it won't get much larger. 7, 8, 9, 700, it makes no difference. Change it between the numbers of like 0 and 10. Anything outside of that really has no impact. Anyway, so now I can add some large font. So then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put a line break. Let's force a line break. And I am going to say something like, this font is Comic Sans MS. What is the tag that I'm going to use to impact this? Font. Thank you very much. What is the tag that I'm going to close? And if you've already guessed, there's probably some kind of an attribute that allows me to impact the font face. And it's actually called face. Face. This time I'm going to say face equals. Because Comic Sans MS is more than one word long, there are spaces in it, I need to surround it by quotes. Print by quotes. I didn't have to surround red. Oh, let me change my 700 back to 7. Because it's just one character, or let me rephrase that, one word. No spaces. But because Comic Sans MS has spaces in it, I'm going to have to surround that line of text by quotes. And now I should have some font that is Comic Sans MS. This line is large, purple, and what? Papyrus?
No.
The problem is I have to know how to spell it. And, I have to know how to spell it. Papyrus. What is the tag that I'm going to use to make a large purple papyrus line of text? What is the tag? Font. That is the tag that I am going to close. Do not close. Let me rephrase that. You don't have to close your attributes. So if it's supposed to be large purple and papyrus, I'm going to say color is equal to purple. And then I'm going to press a space and I'm going to say size is equal to, we'll put it at 5. I don't know. See if we can have a difference. Remember I said how it ignores white space? That means that I can put spaces between my attribute and its value. or I can just kind of mash them up one next to each other. I do need to have spaces between the individual attributes. Color, size, face equals papyrus. If I didn't spell it right, or this is not what the computer thinks that font is, or that font is not on my computer, it won't make any difference. Papyrus. So I'm going to save it, refresh my browser. Hey, it did, it spelled it right. I should probably force a new line. So the tag is called font. Font has attributes. Some of the attributes are size, color, and face, which is font type. Let me force a new line here at the line before it. I'm going to come to the end of this line. Let's put a paragraph here. Force a double space.